I've got two parts of my question, so I'll try and be brief. The first is around business expenses in the workplace. Basically, my employer is expecting me to pay more and more business expenses up front.
What do you do, Adam?
Sorry?
What do you do?
So I work as a videographer, so going out making videos.
And what sort of expenses are you talking about? Travel costs?
So it used to just be travel costs, but now it's hotel bills, now it's equipment, and I'm expecting to wait nearly 2 months in some situations for the money to come back to me.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to work out, if I was to refuse to pay these expenses myself, it would in effect mean I couldn't physically do my job. And would I then be able to be fired, or do I have legal grounds?
How long have you worked, Adam?
I'm just coming up for my second year in, so it'll be my second year in about 2 months' time.
Do you mean you're starting your second year or completing your second year?
Completing my second year in about 2
Fine.
months.
Well, the position's different depending on whether you've completed your second year or not. Does your contract say anything about expenses? Does it say you have to fund them up front?
I worked for a different company, and they were bought out by a new company about 4 or 5 months ago, and it's this new company that have changed all the expenses rules. But as far as I was told, my contract stayed exactly the same.
Okay. Do you happen to know if your contract transferred under TUPE, or did they buy the shares of the company?
I wouldn't actually know the answer to that. Sorry, Daniel.
So they're not allowed to just change the contract without negotiation with you. And it's absolutely standard in many businesses for people to stump up expenses up front, but making you wait 2 months for repayment is not on. Because a lot of people actually quite like paying expenses, because if you can shove a couple of £1,000s on a credit card every month and get it back from your employer quite quickly, then you will find very, very quickly that you've got enough air miles to fly off to Paris or America or something like that. So most people actually quite like doling out for expenses, shelling out for expenses. But if you're not being paid back in time to pay off your credit card bill, as I say, it's not on. Have you said to your employer, look, this isn't on, this isn't working for me, you need to change it?
The situation that I'm in, I literally live month to month, and the situation is that I'm using the money that I need to buy food to pay for business expenses, and then I'm going without eating for the last month, waiting for the expenses to come back, and then in some situations it's another month on top of that before they come back.
That's just hideous, and they don't care. You've explained.
I've explained the situation, and they really don't care.
All right. I wish I had a nice answer for you, Adam, but I'm afraid I haven't. Up until 2 years, they can just dismiss you.
Right.
Once you've completed your 2 years, they can dismiss you for refusing to follow their expenses policy if it's reasonable to do so. I think they'd struggle to persuade a tribunal it's reasonable to do so, because their expenses policy is unreasonable if they make you wait 2 months. So you'd have a claim for unfair dismissal if they dismissed you once you've completed 2 years. But, and here's the big but, you'll be out of a job, you won't be getting any income, and it will be a year or more until your case gets to a tribunal. So unless you have another job to go into quite quickly, you'll have even bigger financial problems.
Legally, they can say, no, you have to pay this out of your own pocket, and if you don't like it, find a different job. And I don't really have too much of a leg to stand on.
You do once you've worked for more than 2 years. You have a legal leg to stand on, but practically it's going to take you a year to get your money.